All right, guys, how's it going? My name is Dr. Sharnael Wolverton Sehon, and I'm really, really excited to have Leslie Davis here with us tonight. I was discussing
What
some of
about
the
you?
things. Oh,
I know she's here, but
mute everybody real quick.
yeah, I'm not gonna do it
Whoops,
tonight.
maybe. I'll go ahead and mute just so we don't have the background noise. I was going over some things in my own business of getting back to some basics. And then I've also, since I've talked to you guys, opened up a practice. And we have several people here who do their own modalities here in the office. And one of the things that we talk a lot about is social media. And I've had a lot of people come to me and say, hey, here's a graphic or whatever, and there's no picture and there's no name and there's no branding. And what I've realized is I think some of this stuff over the years that I've picked up is kind of second fiddle to me. And I don't always think about what I'm doing. And it comes kind of just automatic. And maybe there are people who don't have any of the training or the background to know how to post and when to post and what's important about posting and why you're even posting and all, different times to post and, that kind of stuff. So it's just some basic kind of social media things. And then I was talking to Leslie, because we were even talking about maybe doing like a 7-day, you know, drive or something where everybody posts every day something, just to kind of get in the habit of things and give people ideas on what to post and that kind of stuff. But Leslie was very kind enough, Haley, to offer her expertise too, because she is literally my go-to. I mean, I actually paid her for I don't know how many, a long time, just to coach with me once a month to give me ideas on like stories or whatever. And she would write out different things and say, do this, do that. And I'll be like, why didn't I think of that? So sometimes it's good to have like an outside person to kind of give you things that maybe you're not thinking about, or I wasn't thinking about, or maybe some of you guys aren't thinking about. But welcome, Leslie. She's been on many, many times. I've known her since, I'm not going to say 16. Is it 16? A long time. However old you were when we met, 18? I don't know. You were younger than you are now, and definitely I was younger than I was. So than I am now. But introduce yourself a little bit. And by the way, she just scored this amazing marketing job that is like huge, huge, big corporation type stuff. So that's the kind of person you're dealing with, is a corporate marketer, brander, extremely knows what she's doing kind of person. So Leslie, take the floor.
Hey guys, I know most of you that are on right now. So I do coaching, and another part of my business is marketing and media. And I primarily work with entrepreneurs or independent business owners. I've worked with brick and mortar companies, little businesses, but most of them have been individually owned. And so in that, I've definitely noticed a theme. So I have some tidbits for you guys that I think if you just put in your pocket, they will help you, they will support you. And the thing is like, guys, no one has it figured out. Okay. So like, there's definitely things we can do, but the same thing's not going to work for everyone. But when you catch yourself saying, well, but she has that, well, but they have that, I want you to stop, because that word but is going to show you a limiting belief that you have about business or marketing or the way things should be going. And it's going to be a roadblock for you, because you have to be able to believe in what you're doing and have incredible confidence. And it's my 3 C's: clarity, confidence, and consistency. And that's kind of how we're going to paint this tonight. Because what I've found is so many entrepreneurs don't actually have a clear vision, or that it's like a big vision and really vague. It's like so far off from where they are right now that it's really hazy. Like, oh my God, so we're gonna keep this in context of Young Living. I would love to be a diamond. And they're like, not a silver. And you're like, hey, I'm not saying you can't get there, but like, what's that look like for you? And they're like, well, like, it would just be so good, and they really can't, they have no, it's just this whole thing of lack of clarity. So that's one of the things I noticed amongst entrepreneurs. The other thing was that they have a lot of buts. but not as many people come in my store, but they have a bigger following than me. And I was like, okay, cool. What does that mean? I know people that can monetize the hell out of 500 people, and other people can't monetize a group of 50,000. So the story that we've told is usually a lot of where our roadblocks are show up. So if you, throughout this time, or as you guys are navigating, really setting yourself up for success with maybe just a refresh of your marketing and media, or a new start of your marketing and media, start with just telling yourself like, all right, self, if I hear myself saying, but I'm going to be willing to look at what comes up. And then I'm going to do the work to rewrite it so it works for me, because I'm not here for excuses. I'm only here for success. And that can be your line. I'm only here for success. We're not doing that. Find yourself a little line. It's like your sassy go-to, gives you that empowerment feeling. Find yourself a line. Like I do it all the time. I help clients find their own little line. I'm like, we're just here for success. That's how we're doing this. Okay. So first of all, you guys know me, we're always going to handle the energetics part of it. You need to look at your current state of where you're at. And what I mean by that is, what are your current judgments, thoughts, and feelings around social media and marketing? If you dread it, if you think it's stupid, if you wish you didn't have to do it, all of these things, I highly suggest you just going, okay, cool. I just get to rewrite this. This is just information. This is not about self-judgment. All of these things we're writing out and looking at, it's just information, guys. It's like, okay, cool. I can see how I'm feeling about it now. I can probably see why it's not working the way I want it to. Let's flip the script. Okay. So when you look at the internal, you want to really pay attention, because what you've judged harshly, you're going to have a hard time getting behind. So if you've judged other people harshly for showing up on their social media consistency, if you've made comments like, oh, they just post too much about that, you ain't paying their bills. You know what I mean? So like, have some confidence in yourself. Like and so start high-fiving people. Man, I love that she posts 3 and 4 times a day. That's super cool. I would love to have more ideas. Don't down yourself. You're just saying like, I get to have that too. I'm noticing it. I get to have it too. Okay. So always handle the internals, because you need to build your own confidence. And with the whole kind of looking at where you're at and focusing on that, when you say, I'm going to build my confidence in this, I'm going to build my clarity in this, and I'm going to build my consistency, that is more empowering for entrepreneurs and solo people than trying to say, I'm going to build this business to this place. Because that almost comes with like this pressure and this, like, I don't know if I can hit that feeling. But when you're like, oh, I can build my confidence and clarity, like I can lay this floor brick by brick, let's go. We can do this. It breaks it down into an easier way mentally that you can get behind now doing whatever it is you choose to do. Okay. Because we've got to handle the internals first. All right. The next thing is, I would say, when you have the internals and you can kind of see where you're at, is look at your vision and get some clarity around like what would feel really good in 6 months. So you're going to look at your actual desire and not out of desperation. Okay. So I'm going to invite you to stay in playful energy here. Like, oh, it'd be really fun if I found 2 really good friends that I did this business with, and then we all met and we all got coffee, and you're just like letting yourself play and riff and have ideas. And then every 2 weeks we got together and we did like a little marketing powwow, and then we helped each other with our social media. Oh, I would love that. And then I would really love to grow my $200 a month income to 500, or my 1,500 to 2, like stay within a range that you can energetically get behind when you're first crafting this vision. And I say that because most of us don't have the mental muscles developed to hold the vision when it's something we have never done consistently before. I'm not going to go into the gym if I've never worked out and grab those 30-pound free weights and think I'm going to get more than 2 reps out of those beasts. They're going to kick me. I'm going to be done. And we sometimes do that because we get, so with this, it's like, okay, cool. 6 months, I would love this to happen. Write it down or voice note it in your phone if you don't like to write, but actually get it out of your system. And I want you to do this every day for a few days. And when you spend time with your vision every day, whether it's just a minute here or there, set your alarm if you'd like. When you spend time with your vision, it's going to become more clear. And that time that you're spending is also going to build your confidence in that it can happen. So I'm going to put some parameters up for you that most of you probably know. So some of you, this will be refreshers for, but when you're considering what you actually want, you really want to not worry about the how. You're just like, okay, cool. I just know where I'm going. I'm just looking for a target for my arrow. I'm just giving my energy somewhere to go. I'm giving all my marketing and my media somewhere to get to. That's all I'm doing. So you're not getting all responsible for how all the details need to work out. You're not trying to like hunt for friends. If your friends is your thing, you're gonna be like, okay, cool. This means that like there's some people that are gonna be brought into my world, and I don't have to worry about how it's gonna be done. Because again, you're playing with your vision. You're not trying to work you're literally, this is an internal setup. You're getting yourself internally there. You're not trying to manipulate the outside world just yet. Okay. Or not we're not manipulate, but you know what I'm saying. So develop that confidence and clarity through actually nurturing your vision, looking at your judgments and your limiting beliefs, and giving yourself a value system around how it gets to work for you. What I mean by that is my value system in business is it doesn't matter what it looks like, it gets to work out for me. And that's a little bit vague. So some of the things that I say, to give you guys an example, is I will say, oh, it doesn't matter what happens externally. I know I'm going to get a new client this week. And when I say that, I'm not like, oh, I hope I get a new client. When I first started saying this, that's what it was like. Well, I'm like, I hope it works out. But the more that I committed to doing the work, it went from a hoping to a knowing to, of course, that's going to happen. Like it's just a natural thing, a normal thing. I literally don't worry about it because I've developed my expectation. And I decided what my experience was going to be rather than letting my past or decide what my experience was going to be, if that makes sense. So when you have a vision, you have somewhere for your energy to go. The next thing is the consistency. So this is where a lot of the butts get to come into play with entrepreneurs. Well, I just don't know what to post, but that I don't have a big following, or no one responded on my last post. So what? So what? And like, it's okay. You're just laying brick by brick. Your first few months are the months that you are developing a new level of consistency. Detach. Let yourself be in the energy of play in your business, enthusiasm and fun, and remind yourself what you love about it. That oil saved my freaking life because when I was doing whatever, I didn't think I was going to make it. And I started using this oil, and then I started being able to sleep at night, or I started having the courage to face my fears. I started being able to have hard conversations, share personal stories with it as well. We'll get to some of the actual tangible posting and reels and stuff in a minute. But is this making sense, everyone? Give me some.
Yeah, I would when you get to that part about what to post, I want to share, but keep going.
Okay. So the consistency, when you look at it like, cool, I'm not doing it for your response. I'm doing it because you're giving your brain evidence that you can do it and you can be consistent, and it's not that big of a deal. So when you're just like, oh, I'm just doing this for consistency, I'm doing this to show myself, that is such a better way than whenever businesses try to post, we're like, well, I just need a sale. I just hope somebody sees this and somebody answers me. So one is like this cool, calm energy of like, I'm working on myself. I am building a business here. This is not a hobby. This is going to live longer than a few weeks or a few months. When you have that attitude about it versus desperation, people can smell desperation a mile away, it's going to make a difference in how you show up. And it's going to make a difference in, especially over time, who sees your stuff, who interacts, who's brought into your world. And if you are finding that that's a hard thing for you to navigate or challenging, reach out. I'll send you a voice note. We can go back and forth. But really letting yourself go, this gets to be fun. And you're all going to run into those fabulous days, maybe even a week, or you're like, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to post. I don't want to do a story. Okay, cool. But you know what? This is a business, not a hobby. You can do it. You're a big girl. You're an adult. You can do it. It's no big deal. It's only a big deal because we've made it a big deal before. But if we can realize, like, there is some crazy 14-year-old teenager out there and some like 69-year-old grandma, like they're doing some crazy thing. We can do this. We can share something we love. When you flip your energy also, this is a big tip. How good is this going to feel to have done it? Oh, I'm going to really like that energy to have done it. How good is it going to feel when you've been consistent for a week or 2 weeks? That's going to feel really good. Okay, well, I can get into that. Then that needs to make your decision, because more than likely when you're in that energy of I don't really want to post, what's happening is your subconscious programming, your history of how you've done things is coming into play. You're living from the past version of yourself. You're not living from the version of you that's a business owner, that's growing your business, that's decided this is going to work for you, that you're ready to rock this. And if rocking it means a few posts, then hallelujah, that's pretty blame easy. Because years ago, they had to pay for any ads on a radio, 1970, you had to pay for all the things. You get to have a phone and create something that's stinking cool. And when we start to remember those things that we so easily forget, it kind of helps give us a little more, oh, okay, cool. Like I can do this. It relaxes your energy about it. Is that very good? Does that make sense? So the whole idea is you're going to set yourself up for success, and that starts internally. All right, we're going to get into the posting and the tangibles. What did you want to say, Sharnael?
Okay, a couple things. You should be changing your profile and your cover at least every 6 to 8 weeks. And when you change your profile picture and your cover picture, put in the captions whatever kind of education and your links where people can contact you. And so when you switch it out, don't forget to change those links and change that copy to match it, because if you're doing what we're going to talk about doing, then people are going to eventually like go and say, well, who is this chick? And then they're going to see your caption, and then you're going to have a clickable link that's going to go to your website or your Young Living thing or whatever your offer is or whatever you're talking about. But statistically, people will not click on a profile if there's not a smiling picture. Like if you have a tree or your house or your dog or nothing, people don't do it. And if you don't trade out your cover and or your profile pretty every 6 to 8 weeks, Facebook sees that as a dead account and they hide it. So you can post all day long, and if you haven't done those things, then you're not even going to see it. It's like having a house for sale in the middle of the woods in some Timbuktu area, and it's the best house and it has gold toilets and everything else, but nobody knows where it is or that it's even for sale. So a smiling face and a cover picture, and your cover is your top banner, whatever part, and make sure there's clickable links to where people can find out more about you.
Clickable links in your description.
In your description, in your caption.
The caption on the profile, when you change the
Your
profile.
so this is your profile.
I know what my profile picture is.
And when you click it, you'll say see profile picture. And down at the bottom, there's a place where you can put a caption. And you want to make sure that it's not just words, but something to click that'll bring you to your Share Young Living and your 10% off or whatever. Same thing with your cover, clickable. Make sure it's clickable. It's pretty good to post 2 minimum 3 times a day. If you have a business account and a personal, different things on both pages. If you only have one, just focus on one, but different content on both pages, because there's a structure to that as well. And what to post. Do not post sell, graphic, Young Living all day long. You want to change things up. And the reason why is because this isn't about a conversation. This is about engagement. This is about getting people to talk to you. It's not about, hey, who's going to buy from me today, every day? Like, because people will walk away and leave. Do not put the same copy of the same graphic over and over and over as well, because Facebook also sees that as a dead account if you're not posting at least 2 times a day, and if you're not pushing different content. So even if it's a different graphic or the same graphic, change up the copy just slightly. Otherwise, it's considered an old post, and they just go, oh, well, we're going to hide that because she's a bot. They think that you're like fake and like not a real person. So now talking about what we're going to post. Memes. I'm not saying meme either, or sell, see, or sad, or dog. Changing things up and diversity. So you put it in categories of something funny, whether it's a meme or a funny thing that just happened to you, something educational. So maybe you just learned about some Harmony oil or vitamin D or the new frankincense phyton, whatever you call it, or Lee does Reiki and hypnotherapy. Maybe she wants to talk about that. I know Michelle, she's got, oh my God, the girl, follow this girl. This girl knows how to do shit. Like Michelle is good. Colette is really good at social media. I'm like, why are you guys even on here? Same thing with Danielle. You guys post really well. If find someone that you really like I follow Gabby Bernstein or some of those kind of people, and I get like insight and ideas from them. I'm not copying exactly, but I might go, oh, that's a good idea. I'm going to do something like that. So you can not like run out of stuff. But questions are really good. Like, hey, what's everybody doing tonight? Or, do you have a specific type of dog breed that you really like more than the other? Or have you ever been out of the country? Or, finish this sentence, never have I ever. Or let's play a game, or, things to get people to post back, because every time that someone likes or comments on your page, everything that you post will now go in all of their friends' feed. So the more people that talk to you, the more your stuff is going to be shown on other people's feeds and other people's stuff, because all your friends become their friends now, and the people will cross over. So personal stories, personal things that you're doing that day, maybe a picture of your dog, maybe a picture of your cat, maybe your backyard or your garden. But you want to filter in a good, healthy group of things, whether it's Q&A questions, things about Young Living, of course, or whatever your profession is, memes, some very personal things. And this is also very important, and I will say it because a lot of people do Young Living. And I've used this testimony before. Is I went to go buy a sapphire ring in Montana, and I had 3 places to go pick it. And I went to all 3 places, and one had the exact ring that I had in my mind, and it was cheaper than the other 3 places. But something told me, okay, I'm going to go look at the other places. I go look at the other places, and one was the other one was not exactly what I wanted, and it was like, I think $300 more. But when I was there, the person behind the counter introduced me to their wife. Their kids came in from homeschool. They invited me to dinner that night. They brought out this sapphire yoga cave thing where they dug it up and were showing me the history of it. When the kids came in, they introduced me. They were like, oh, we've always wanted to go to Louisiana. We ended up talking, and we became so good of friends that night I wanted to get the ring from them, because when I looked at the ring, I knew I would remember that with them, and it was a happy feeling, and it was worth more because of who they were, not because of the product anymore. I started out because of the product, and there's a lot of people who like Young Living or like oils, but they're going to fall in love with you. So you have to get personal, even on your business pages. A lot of people are like, oh, I only post business on my business, I do personal on personal. No, that doesn't work. Why? Because people want to know about you. Here's another example. I don't like sports, but I follow some sport figures. And you know why? Because I saw some documentary on how they grew up, or their mom, or like I followed Mike Tyson since I was like in freaking high school or whatever. It's like, you fall in love with people and their story, not the boxing. I could, it's like, now I want this guy to win because I love him. Now I want this team to win because I love him. But normally that's not me. So you want to mix things up. You want people to know you, even on your business page, your cute dog, your cute family. What are you doing Sunday? What are you doing tonight? What Netflix shows have you seen? Many of you, I'm telling you this stuff that you're already doing, and so forgive me, but for the recording, maybe some of you aren't doing it. And then one thing I do want to add is, if you guys can get in groups, like even all of you who are on here today, or if you find a team like Leslie was saying, if you can like each other's stuff and share each other's stuff and whatever. That is really fun too, because it gives a lot of activity on your page. It keeps accountability, and it is fun. And it's just something, it makes it easier to do when you have a group like synergy of stuff. I will tell you, and Danielle and I, we've talked about this for years, never use someone else's graphics if it has their information or their website, because I have shared some stuff. I found out somebody bought the kit. They're all excited. They saw it on my page. They called me and they're like, hey, I want to get that free thing now that you are offering. It's like, oh, I'm not seeing you in my downline. Oh, well, I just went to the one that was on the graphic thing that you had or whatever. It's like, I only made that mistake twice. You'd think I'd only do it once. But so if you're going to use graphics, you could just go into Google Images, find things. Now AI does stuff automatically for Facebook. Young Living has so many graphics. We didn't have any of that when we were coming up, when we first started, but now there's tons of graphics online, and with Young Living in the back office. But post at least 2 times daily, switch it up, do it on your business and your personal, have synergy, make it personal, make it fun, make sure you use links and tell people what to do. So if you do have a link, make sure and click right here for more, or want to know more, click here. Tell people click here, because statistically they say 9 times out of 10, if you tell them, they're just mindlessly like, whatever. They won't even read the stuff, but they see click and they're like, oh, I'm going to click that and see what that is. And they just click it. Switch it up with reels, switch it up with videos, switch it up with graphics, sometimes just words, GIFs, and then anything else that you have to add. But yeah, consistency is a biggie. And last thing I'm going to say, go on at least 10 people's other pages that you don't even know and comment 3 times each on their stuff. So like, let's say I don't know Lee. I'm going to go to Lee's page tomorrow. I'm going to find 3 things that she has posted, and I'm going to comment on 3 different things just for Lee. Why 3 things? Because 1, she probably won't even see it. 2, probably not either. But if I did 3 days in a row of commenting or liking or something, even if it's like an older thing, eventually Lee's going to be like, who is this lady that keeps commenting on my stuff? And she will come over and she'll look at my profile and she'll see stuff that I'm saying, oh, we kind of have the same stuff. You could do this on Instagram as well. Like Gabby, for me, I go to Gabby, I go to her followers, who she's following, and then I pick like 5 people that are following her, and I will comment on 3 different things from their page. And guess what? They come over and they follow me. It's just because they're like, it gets their attention that, oh, you're taking interest in them. People love the way that you make them feel. It's not about anything. It's just about who you are as a person and how you make them feel. If they feel happy and they're like, oh, she likes me, they're going to like you back. It's just, if you make people feel like crap, same thing, it's like, anyway, go ahead, Leslie. Those are my 2 cents for that.
Okay, so everything she was saying in the beginning, like make your contact stuff super easy and put it on everything. Your name and your phone number, it should be clear. It should not be a size font 11 and hidden. When you're creating graphics, I wouldn't jam them or anything like that. Super clean. All right, she talked about this. Use hyperlinks in your stories. I would challenge yourself to start selling every other day in your stories. But that, when I say that, if that is the only story you're posting, let's only do it once a week. Okay. This is if you're actual posting 2 or 3 stories a day. One's about your morning cup of coffee. One's, I don't know, you're getting in your car. I don't know, whatever it is. And then one can be a hyperlink. Now, here's this idea that I was like, y'all gonna love this, especially Danielle probably already does this. I don't even know, but create downloadables that match with collections that you set up within Young Living and direct them to that collection. Like, this is a great, when I say downloadable, I mean on Canva, the PDF downloadables, like I have your file set up downloadable for natural immune, blah, 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 download it here. Next slide, drop in and get the collection here. And they can go straight to the collection you created within Young Living and shop the actual items from the PDF. Does that make sense? And you can even put the hyperlinks in the PDF directly as well. So whoever your people are, like everyone's got different crowds and different friends. And she really mentioned telling your story. Become a good storyteller of your story. We all have a story. You know, one of mine that I talk a lot about is I used to live a lot from fear. And then I kind of woke up and I was like, oh my God, like I thought I was really living from fear. I had to tell your story over and tie in whatever it is that your path, your journey, whether it's your service, whether it's your product, kind of tie that into it. And that's really going to stick with people. And don't assume everyone saw the same thing you posted 2 weeks ago. No one remembers nor they saw it. Repurpose your content. If you create a live video, if you go on live and you do a 10-minute video on something, take that little beast, cut it at least 3 clips out of it and give yourself 3 reels. Okay. And then you can take those reels and put them on your story and use a hyperlink. Repurpose your content. Huge thing. So when you create the collections in Canva or the PDFs in Canva, whatever, and then you can link back to your stuff. Never assume people are tired of you. Because then at that point, what you really need to ask yourself is, okay, cool. I can tell I'm basically bored with this. What do I need to do to get back into my desire and into my enthusiasm, my excitement about what I'm doing? Because I hope at this point you know yourself well enough to know, like, okay, I can go down this rabbit trail. I can talk to myself about this, and I'm going to get like re-energized about what I'm doing, right? Okay. So notice that you do that. You want to keep it fun, guys. And if you notice that it's not fun every 3 days, that's okay. That's when we're going, okay, cool self. Now we're just giving ourselves the evidence of consistency. So this journey, entrepreneurship, and even having, whether it's a small business or a large one, is like, talk about the biggest personal growth development situation you've ever experienced, because you will encounter every emotion and every limiting belief, and you will pick yourself up off the floor and you will be screaming from the mountaintops, all of it. It's such a journey, but just let me talk about the reels and stuff. You can also use the same thing. Let's say I'm going to take a static picture. Didn't even bring an oil in here. Of the oil joy, because y'all, I'm a joy person, Joy and Patchouli posted about that recently. And I take a static picture of it. Okay. The other thing I can do is take a 4 or 5 second video of it and put it on loop and put words over the screen. So now I have in 5 seconds, 10 seconds, I've shot a static post that I can post. And then I've also shot something I can use for a reel. The difference is I'm just not going to use them back to back. I'm going to use the static post this day and the reel the next week. So there's some slides in between, even though it's the same thing. A 5 second, a short reel with some words on the screen. And you can even say, this is my favorite non-toxic perfume. See the reasons below. Or did you know how synthetic fragrances affect hormones? Below. And you can give information. When it's a short clip like that, it'll loop. And I'm specifically talking about Instagram at this point. The reel will loop, and that person will let it play while they read typically. And so they will watch your video like several times technically. So those are some little things. And then you can also use a voiceover. Take some clips you have from a few years ago or a year ago product and say, put it on mute, do a voiceover. I'm not going to get into this is supposed to be a foundations class. There's some more technical stuff to this, but like, do a voiceover. And that's in the Instagram app, you can just do a voiceover. Just wanted to show you guys some of my favorite ways to clean, non-toxic, and it's nothing, and you're not even having to show your face. You're just maybe pouring thieves in your whatever, you're doing your thieves concentrate, you're putting it in, whatever the thing is. Use voiceovers, use static, and use a reel. And again, repurpose, do them all the same content. Whoever saw that static post is not going to see the reel, and they're not going to see the video. Does that make sense, guys? So those are really easy ways to just like, oh, we can break this down and this does not have to be a big deal. Lee, for you could like do a span of the room that you're working in. Do like a slow video and then put words over it and say, this is where the goodness begins. Reiki has helped people by ... And then in the information, right, Reiki helps people blah, 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 and write all down here. Well, now they're rewatching your loop. And again, you're detaching from the outcome. I want you to detach from the outcome. I coach people in detaching from the outcome because that is a huge roadblock for most people. They're like, well, no one's responding. It's like, okay, you're an adult. I love you. It's fine. But we're just doing this to help ourselves. We're growing our business here. It's okay if nobody responds. It's okay because you're going to be so damn proud of yourself in 2 or 3 months when you're like, oh my gosh, I've developed this whole new habit now of really getting into my business and getting excited. I've created this space for it. I've committed 30 minutes a day to it. I'm so freaking proud of me. Look at this. And I guarantee you people are watching.
Quality content for sure. And being consistent, people will start following you and they will start liking. And it does take a minute sometimes, and sometimes it just takes want something to go viral. The thing that you wouldn't even expect all of a sudden goes viral. But if you go to other people's stuff consistently and just say, I'm going to go to 5 people's things today and do 3 on each one, those people will come back to, and you will see a build. You will see a build.
So to have a mental way of organizing this, what I usually suggest to a client is pick a topic a week, maybe 1 or 2 topics for that week, 1 or 2 products, in the case of Young Living, and play with those that week. And then the next week you pick 2 more, and you're going to create stories, slides, and reels. And you're just going to challenge yourself to get creative with it. Give yourself 6 months. This is not a short-term game. We're so used to immediate gratification, but that's not really how this works. This works in a much more of a long-term scope. So use your story, intertwine your personal life, and just remind yourself it gets to be fun, guys. It gets to be so fun. And that fun, that enthusiasm, tapping into that is going to really give you the zhuzh to keep going when you don't want to, when those days when you're just like, oh, I'm done. Okay. Let's talk for another split second about something, 2 little ways of helping you guys take pictures. So for all of you, like, I don't have anybody take pictures for me. There's this little thing called a Bluetooth remote, and you will set your camera up, and you want to use window light if you want good light. And you can put your phone on a stand or get it whatever height you want it. You want it eye level or a little bit higher. You don't be looking down at it, okay? So use the Bluetooth remote and hold it in your hand and hide your hand, and you can just like smile at that. Everything doesn't have to be a selfie. If you're taking pictures of yourself with it, you can Bluetooth remote it. Okay. Use that way to take pictures of yourself if you need to. You can put that picture into Canva. You can take it off a background. You can have a lot of fun with this, and it doesn't have to be like super professional or whatever. Like you can easily do it. Always use window light. Use great light whenever you take pictures, even of a product. Like I'm pointing here because there's a window here. I would stand here and like let the light hit the product, and that's going to look better than halfway in a dark house. And if I need to take it and sit on my deck rail for a minute, I can do that too. So use good light. And it doesn't have to, when you see that you've taken a bad picture, don't be like, oh, such a bad picture. This is like so much. You know what? I'm learning something new and I'm getting better at this. I'm going to figure this out. This ain't that complicated. QuickBooks is much harder, like I can figure this out. So when you have that internal posture, you're going to see that, and you're doing the things, you're going to see it pay off nice dividends in 3 to 6 months. I promise. So that's kind of the basics in terms of foundations. I think when it comes to foundations, like it's a lot internal, and then there's some tangible practicals. Do y'all have any questions for me or Sharnael or anybody? Go ahead.
Questions.
Yeah, go for it.
Questions? Thank you, Leslie and Sharnael. Those were some great suggestions and some great tips. So I have been posting on social media, like doing a lot of the things that you're suggesting very consistently with a lot of confidence for 2 years. And I have really built my followers. None of that is translated into sales.
Okay, so monetizing is the issue here. Okay, cool. I
now have like I do the engagement posts. I have branding. It's it's my Christian's post divorce. It's my husband and I promoting the reset, 14-day reset. Engagement posts, all the things, switching things up on Instagram. Instagram is more recent. That's more like the last year. I've grown to 3,000 followers, but I haven't had 1 sale. So I'm kind of feeling now like I'm not really sure it's worth the effort. Yeah,
and that's totally understandable. And I'm gonna be, Sharna, do you want to answer this first? Because we might have different answers.
I enroll successfully in person. I enroll about 4 people a month in person, but online, not so much.
You could do contests. You could do like small Zoom classes. You can do offers of some kind. Like you do this and I'll give you a free whatever. I mean, there's a lot of different, I mean, I enroll more people online than I do in person. So we're the opposite, but I'm constantly,
That's what I'm curious about, what you guys do, that you're doing something I'm not doing.
I'm always running an offer of some kind. Like if you do this, I'm gonna, and then here's the other thing too. I list all the things that you get when you sign up. So like, and I've used this example before. If a person was gonna sell a house and it's $100,000, but they didn't tell you that the toilets were gold and that there's a safe in there with $1 million in it, then, you know, you might go like, well, shit, I don't have $100,000. So I guess I'm going to pass on that. But if you knew that there was gold in there and you knew that the toilets were also gold worth, you know, and there's $1 million, you're going to figure out a way to get $100,000 because you want the thing. So I always tell people, like with the kid or the reset or whatever, you're going to get, you know, 135 videos in our group. You're going to get maybe you're going to do a free coaching thing or a free Zyto, or I mean a free Genius scan, or I will give you 3 free sessions, blah blah blah, or you know, some kind of thing, and then explain, you know, all the things that come in that kit or in that offer that maybe people aren't thinking of, like the community that we have in our group of, you know, a fun group of people that all get together and post testimonies and that kind of stuff. It's like, there's a lot, you know,
I
just
do that in my stories
to
very
build that up.
regularly. I do it in lives and I do it in my stories.
I see your lives. I will tell you, I see your lives and I love that you're doing it. And also I read better than I am audible. So I like things listed out in bullet points because I'm running around fast and I'm just like, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, boom, 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 boom. Oh, okay, that's cool. And then I'll check into it. But if it's some long thing I got to listen to for 10 minutes, which I'm not saying that you do, I'm just saying in general, if I see a 10-minute mark thing or a 5-minute, I'm probably like, next. But what were you going to say, Leslie?
Well, there's two things there. That's just making sure whatever you put in the video, you also put static. But Sharnael's gonna know that I do this thing. What I'm gonna say. I wanted Sharnael to answer because she's have way more business answer than I have on this one. So I do this thing where I feel like we really know what we need to do and what's going to move the needle. And sometimes we know so much that we can't get clarity on what we should do next. I can get like that. And so I will literally go, all right, God, angels, universe, when I get up from this nap, this is what needs to happen. I need to know and I need to have clarity on this. And that's how that's going to go. Okay, fellas, I literally will talk like that. I don't care how nutsy I sound to y'all. And it's never failed me once. And there's like, when I get up, boom, it's there. It's like right in front of me. And so there is this place where I think you have to trust yourself and get into the play of it, play with it, have fun with it. I think we're kind of, education is, people are wanting to see so much personality now, and it's not to be fake. It's like, you know, just being like, what did you love about Young Living? And just being like, oh my God, like letting that part of you come out. I would also, on like a personal coaching level, and if you want to send this to me, I'll look at it and voice note you back. But looking at your human design, I would like to look at that and just kind of see if what you're doing is like in alignment with your energy type. Because it has to be really authentic. Because one thing I've seen with entrepreneurs and like the brick and mortars too is we all can get caught up in doing it someone else's way. And the other side of that is then we don't do anything. So now we need to figure out, okay, this is just inviting you for a pivot. Like, this is not a roadblock. It's an opportunity. When you can learn to see obstacles as opportunity, that's like the energy of it's like way lighter, way more playful. You're opening up creative channels of like ideas. So even like, let's talk about adjusting the story. And I can give you a tapping thing through it too later. I know I'm gonna probably take up a lot of time with this, but you know what? I feel like something new's coming. I'm going to have the right idea. I'm going to have the right clarity around this. I'm going to know what to do, and it's going to be so freaking good. And I'm going to love doing it. And the right thing is going to come to me, and I don't even have to worry about it because I'm an expert at this. And if there's one thing I know, it's freaking Young Living. That's for sure. So it's like really building that confidence, and like, you're going to get clear on it. It's going to get to shift for you. And you're not letting up on that. That's your standpoint. You're not letting up. You don't care if it didn't happen in 2 days. We're not here to whine about 2 days. You know what I mean? Like you are gonna like hunker down on it, being like, nope, I'm gonna just let this happen and I'm not gonna grip on it, but I'm gonna decide. I'm gonna internally make the decision. That's what I am gonna do. Not gonna, and it's gonna be, and then one day you're gonna be like out for a walk or something, and you'll be like, oh my God, that's what I should do. And it's gonna be like that kind of a thing. And again, you're detaching. Let's say we do the thing and then we don't get a response that we thought we should. That's okay. We're not worried about it because that thing leads to the next thing, which leads to the next thing. And the next thing now you've got, 8 new signups or 12 or however many. You see what I'm saying? It's not judging the process either, but always being willing to pivot, but knowing the clarity is also always there. Establishing in you, like, this is how I'm going to act and feel about it. That would be my suggestion.
Yeah. I feel like I have a lot of confidence. I feel like I have all that. Like, I feel like I am all that.
Me too. Well, that's what I'm saying. Well, then do the nap thing. See what happens in the nap. Do the nap thing. I will literally give a speech to angels, everyone around me. And I'm telling you, it's never failed me once.
Like, I'm really shocked. Like, I don't understand. Like, I'm doing all the things and,
okay, well, so
and I feel confident. I feel like people need this. People want this. People are excited. I'm interesting. I'm blah, blah, blah. My people will all that. And they're chatting up on all the engagement posts, but the posts that are clearly Young Living or any kind of pitch, like reset, those posts are dead. Like people don't post on those unless I ask my friends to post on them.
So change that story. Everything
yes,
I post attracts great people to me, and make that your mantra and like make that your story instead of this story. You know what I mean?
So you just said, I don't understand. You said that a couple of times. I just don't understand. It's just because you're frustrated with it. I can feel it. You're just like, and I get that. I get that way too with things. We all do. Okay, cool. It's just information. Is there a way for me to pivot? Is there a way for me to get more clear? Ooh, how can I play with this? Start asking questions instead of letting yourself play in the frustration. And it might be a pivot that we can't tell you. You know what I mean? It might be something new that we haven't done before.
Mm-hmm.
And so you might have this new thing come to you, but when you decide it gets to come to you, that's a much better story than I don't understand. You see what I'm saying? I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know, it made sense in my head. I don't know if it made sense when it came out of my mouth, but
well, I feel like when I say I don't understand, like I'm taking the information the education that I have about social media and a lot of what you guys have shared tonight. I feel like I'm executing that.
Doing it all.
So I don't understand why I'm not having an outcome of it transferring to sales.
We hear what you're saying. We're just saying you're digging your feet in on that story, and we're saying change it up. That's all. That's all. Nancy said, do what you're doing online or in person online. I don't know what you're doing in person to know, but. And we're going to have to get off of here in a couple minutes because I promised that we wouldn't go too long. And I would like to do some follow-ups if anyone's interested. And I have thought about even doing like a challenge of some kind or an opportunity where we all, if whoever chooses, does like a 7-day, opportunity thing where we all are accountable and we're like, okay, let's post today. And we do like 7 days in a row or 14 days in a row or and help each other out. That's something I'm going to be sharing the next few days if anyone who's interested in doing that. But I
have a question too, Sharnael.
Yes.
When you're talking about posting and a couple posts a day and etc., at one time there used to be a better time than others. Is that still true? Like you should post from 9 to 10 or from 4 to 6, or it seems like I saw something on the phone or something one time on the good times to post. Do you have anything on that?
Not Monday morning at 8:00, and not Friday afternoon at 5 when people are already checked out for the day. Like lunchtime is a big time. People are checking their phones. Tuesdays are good, especially Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays are heavier times. Probably Facebook and Instagram are different. I know YouTube is even different. So, but lunch times are really good because people are usually, can leave the office and or grab their phone real quick and look at stuff, and or in the evenings.
Okay, because I was doing mine at 9 for some reason, and I just
Yeah, I mean, I
Is-
personally get up.
will look at you because they know you're going to post at a certain time.
Yeah, I mean, do what's fun for you, whatever gives you the fun time. Like for me, I'm not going to get up at 6 o'clock just to post to make sure I post. I get up, I get my kids to school, I do whatever, I come back, and sometimes I'll take a freaking nap for another hour and then get on it. But when you are happiest, like whenever your time is happy, that's the energy that's going to go out. So it doesn't really matter. People are going to see it when they see it. But I would steer away from Monday mornings and Friday evenings.
Mondays and Fridays, okay.
Energy trumps algorithm. The algorithm also changes so much, it becomes a roadblock for people in the building process.
And I want to say too, Michelle's on the phone or the call. I really appreciate that you've got on Team Swiftfire and do the Tuesday calls or the Tuesday testimonies. We really appreciate you stepping in and helping there. And I know Danielle and Colette do a lot too. So that's amazing. I just want you to be sure to know that we appreciate you, Michelle. And of course, Danielle has always been doing it. And I automatically go to Colette back and forth because I get ideas, and then all of a sudden I see she's posting my ideas, so I know we're sharing back and forth, and I try to give her credit as much as I can. So
I definitely steal from Colette, and I always would give credit and say repost from blah blah blah. But I just sent out. I don't know if everybody got their stuff, but I sent out a few things, just a little thank you for that, because you guys, I can't tell you. I choose to tell you more how much I appreciate that.
anyway, I just wanted to say that while I had a chance. Thanks.
Yeah, and it gives me ideas. You guys give me ideas. That's the thing about working together. And that's what I love if we end up doing the challenge, is because then I can go on all y'all stuff and post and comment, and that just gives more momentum to that post for you guys to be seen more. So working in groups, or even if you just say, hey, mom, dad, husband, can everybody help me for the next 7 days? Because I really want to ramp up my thing. Can you guys comment and post and get like a group of friends that just help you and say, hey, I'm in this contest thing and I'm really trying to do a thing for a week. If you guys can help me. And that can really just get some movement on your actual account to be seen more, even if it's just for a minute until you can get somewhere. But help in groups is always good.
And isn't it true comments are better than likes because likes don't get you anywhere, or is that wrong?
Comments are great.
That's
Likes
what
are great too, but
Oh, they
comments are great. And that's why I comment on other people's stuff. And if they share my stuff, I always say, I'll go and I'll look to see who all shared, and I will comment on each person that shared and say, thank you so much for sharing. Thank you so much for sharing. Smiley face, emoji, whatever, whatever. And then they go, oh, she really appreciates it. So
One thing I do if I have a certain person I want to connect with more, like through Messenger, I'll go and I want them to see, and I'm chit chatting with them there. I'll go to their posts and their stories, and I'll comment and I'll heart them. And you just need one or two, and all of a sudden, right, they pop over to your post, and you can
it's true.
see, yeah,
It works.
yeah. I mean, I am really cold prospecting them. Ooh, like this. Ooh, I don't know who this person is. She commented on mine, so I go, oh, she's not Young Living. Okay, she's fair game. I go over and then I start commenting, and then I try to start up a chit chat, through Messenger.
Awesome.
And that's what, and in answer to your question, Nancy, that's what I do in person, just talking to people about their problems, assessing their needs, and offering a solution, Young Living solution.
Well, if you guys are interested,
What do you think about the algorithms and like how often our posts are seen?
that's what Leslie was saying, is there really isn't, and that changes so much, and that can be a roadblock. So doing it in your fun time is the best time.
I don't even mean, I mean, like as an income producing activity. Obviously, Sharnael, you're successful with it. It's producing income for you. There's so many other things that I can do to build. I'm in this sort of assessment stage of, do I really put more all there if all this time I'm posting, in social media, because of the algorithm, because I don't know how much my posts get seen. I heard it's very, very low, like 2-3%.
It's whatever you choose. Like I expect everybody, only God sees me, only God hears me, only God touches me. I'm celebrated everywhere I go. I ignite Christ in everyone I contact. Like those are my thing. That's my truth. That's my everyday. And that's what I get. Mostly. I have my days just like everybody. And when I do, I have people that are very patient with me, just like everybody. I don't have Bob to call anymore.
Hmm.
This is where I will say, it wasn't this exact thing, Colette. It's a little different. It was a little different. Establishing your own personal value system of how it gets to work for you, bottom line, and building that in, meaning it doesn't matter what the crap the algorithm does, my posts are going to get seen. You're welcome. You know what I mean? Like that kind of energy, that kind of vibe, but not from a place. It might take some time. Well, for me and for some of the people I've worked with is a little bit different on the thing, but like, when you establish that as the actual way that you see, think, and expect it to go, like it's a true expectation, it's not a hope on the flyback of a whatever, it does change because then you're not worried about it anymore. What you're not worried about, you're not fighting against. When we're worried about it or we're scared of it, we all know how that story goes, right? But we do it over everyday little things. I do too, and I don't recognize it until I recognize it. And so creating a new way that it works for you and like establishing that can be helpful. I've done that with brick and mortar business owners, and it changed everything. You know, it was always, well, not enough people come in my store. That's okay. What if only 2 come in? You know what I mean? Like it's just like changing the way it works for you. So even if the right amount of people don't see it or the right amount, what's the freak is a right amount? It could be 2 and both those people could move versus, like I told you, numbers, detaching from the numbers is huge, huge, huge. But it takes some practice if that's what we're in the traditional world. That's what we've always looked at. You know, if you've got, I had a client that had an email list that was out the wazoo. Well, their open rate was absolute crap. You know what I mean? But they were so about getting their email list bigger. Well, that's lovely, except for like, it doesn't really matter. And then I've got a client with 500, less than 500 on their email list and their open rate's like 80%. You know what I mean?
And
So,
making,
like,
didn't you say that she was making like 20 grand or something crazy?
yeah,
And
I mean, I
500
had people with less than 2,000 friends and making like over 20 grand a month, on social media. So I'm not saying the algorithm, it's like notice in you, and this is where I can look at your human design a little bit, like, oh, posting at the right times, the algorithm feels really good to me, rather than like it just feels like something I should be doing because if I do it, then I'm doing a good job and I'm doing it right. It's a different energy. Like, you know what? I'm going to post when I'm having fun because I want this to be fun. I don't want this to be, it is income producing, but you still get to have fun with it. You can still enjoy it. And in that play, more is going to open up. Go ahead.
I
Yeah,
will tell
I don't
you,
think I enjoy it.
I will tell you too that there's,
That happens.
yeah, and there's days that I'm just like, ugh, I might have like 3 days of just blah. So I will, when I do feel good, I might come up with 6 different things that I have on my phone saved, like in my videos or whatever, because
Right.
when I don't feel like it, I can just pop out one of those things when I did feel like it. And it's like I don't have to reinvent things. Or I might do like a whole day or a whole hour of just small videos or content gathers where I just take pictures or do whatever or get my hair fixed and I just feel good and I'm just like, okay, I'm going to do a bunch of things today and this is going to be good and I'll have this for the next 2 weeks or whatever and then I don't have to do this again and I could just go back to, putting my hair in a bun or whatever, so I try to focus on that and I know we got to go. And if you're interested, if you do want to talk more, you can reach out to me, you can reach out to Leslie. If you haven't had your design done,
I don't even know what that is. I'll reach out to Leslie. I don't know what that
that's a
is.
really good thing. It does give you a little more insight about why you do what you do, when you do what you do, and that kind of stuff, and like how you're built and why, that's important. Um, um, but, and would you guys would you be up for doing, I don't want to say a challenge, but an opportunity thing if we did like a 7-day or a 14-day or, if anyone's interested in that, let me know. Even if it's just like 3 or 4 of you guys that want to do it, get with me and we'll help each other, you know, during that time. But
I'm all for that. I mean, right now I'm doing Young Living's walking challenge. I mean, their water challenge. Last month they did a walking challenge, and then this month they're doing a hydration challenge. So I have a landing page for that. I've been promoting that to get, and then from there they get emails and education about Ningxia and the reset at the end of that.
I want to get with you on that. I want to learn that. So
Yeah, I'm happy to
maybe
help
you
you with
could
that.
teach on that. Maybe
I was gonna actually offer to do that. Now that I kind of got it figured out what I'm doing, I could teach on that.
I would love for you to do that and like next week or something where you teach about like how to do the landing page and how to click the emails and like what the rotation of whatever emails that go out. And oh my gosh, I would love that.
Okay.
Interested in it too. I need more information on the reset.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's there. It's in the 14-day reset leader hub, but I'm happy to teach you guys.
Yeah.
Well, and Leslie, I know you offer all coaching and side things and whatever, and she's my coach and she's great. And if anybody wants to reach out to her, she has all kinds of insight and things like that. And do you have any final words, Leslie, before we get off the phone tonight or the Zoom tonight?
Nope. I have we can do what I call intensives, which is just like a one-off session. And then we have packages, and that's kind of how I operate on the coaching side of it. And I do personal coaching, life coaching kind of thing, like where we have to actually align our energy. Human design's huge. And then also marketing and media. So I kind of have a flip side, have a multi-situation going.
You have a beautiful energy, Leslie.
Hey.
Welcome.
She's the best. I'm just saying. And if you guys have any questions and you just want to chat with me, you can always call me too, and we'll set up an appointment and talk for 30 minutes or whatever and just brainstorm or anything I can do to help. I'm here and I appreciate y'all. Love you so much. And
Good
thank you for
Here,
hanging
make
out
some
with
good
me.
content, guys. Woo!
Yes, let's do it. Let's do it. Love
Bye,
you.
y'all.
All right. Bye.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
All right, thanks for the information.
Yes. Bye.